Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. This particular performance is one of those that got requested a lot because recently on UK TV, this was part of a special on Dua Lipa and her performances from the Royal Albert Hall, and this is Dua Lipa with Elton John. And on the particular show, it had interviews and all that kind of stuff, and Elton talking about Dua, and it had their performance, but as well as lots of other performances covering this particular show from the Royal Albert Hall. Obviously, people have asked me, is it pitch corrected? Have they done anything to it? Is it the original audio? All that kind of stuff. So we're going to be listening to the official released video and audio, and we have crowd shot footage. So as always, the links to the original videos are in the description below, in case you guys want to check out these videos independently without me jumping in and isolating vocals and running them through pitch monitoring software, all that kind of stuff. So we'll start off with the TV release, which is going to be on the left-hand side, and let's have a quick listen to this.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no.
So immediately we can see, and I mean you can hear, that this is being calibrated to A440 standard pitch equal temperament. So as we kind of work our way through it, you'll see how we're kind of over these lines all the time, even when we've just got a tiny phrase that's being sung. We're going to be calibrated to A440 and working our way through here again. Yeah, but you can actually hear the processing going on. So when I first heard this, I thought, right, well, this is something that happens all the time where somebody does a live performance and it's then pitch corrected afterwards. They then show it on TV. But as we move our way through, we've then got Dua Lipa introducing Elton John. I'll let this play through. When things go wrong. I'm now going to bring on, and this will play now out of the right channel so that we can get a bit of a separation going on between the performances, but let's have to listen to this.
Give it up for a man who needs no introduction.
And this is the actual audio from the crowd.
Elton John.
When things go wrong, when the Santa's furling.
So we can hear on this second phrase, I mean, Elton is kind of between notes there, and it is clear to hear that the pitch is, a little bit off there, but it's live. That's what happens. So now listening to the official release.
And the Santa furling.
And that, believe it or not, was the same phrase. Actually, I'm going to get the... There we go. So this is the same phrase from left to right. So there's obviously been a little bit of pitch correcting going on for the release on TV, whereas when you were actually there, here we were between the B3 and the C4, but actually that's actually been moved up considerably, and you can see how, and actually what's possible now with pitch correction, how wildly this actually ascends, and then what they've changed it into, they've just brought all of this bit down to the C4 and moved this part here up to the C4. So just with this first phrase, we can say that the audio that we're hearing on the TV release for everybody to enjoy is not the original audio from the performance. The original audio has been replaced with a pitch corrected version, and we're then hearing this pitch corrected version. So, I mean, that's the end of that discussion, that you can say for this particular performance we've got pitch correction going on. Something that is really interesting is that when we're listening to left and right of the intro part with Dua Lipa singing,
and I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find.
I mean, this part here where it gets stuck to that C sharp 4, what you can see on the right hand side, obviously we've got ambient noise and, you know, the reverberation of the Royal Albert Hall. So things are going to get thrown off all the time. But what you can see is this C sharp 4 here over the line. The same C sharp 4 here was over the line. And we came down here over the line, went a little bit flat, and we were over the line here. So with this particular vocal, we can say that it's the same pitch accuracy when it's getting picked up from right to left. So it means that Dua Lipa's voice is getting calibrated to A440 standard pitch equal temperament live. So it means that it is going through auto-tune. So it means that Elton John's mic live did not have auto-tune, but Dua Lipa's mic does have auto-tune. So in the live setup, that's what's happening. And I think also what we have, if we're looking over here, look at this pitch. The F4 is just ever so slightly flat, but we do touch it just for a split second. Over here, it doesn't touch that line at any point. So I think not only do we have auto-tune live, but when the auto-tune didn't quite grab the vocal enough because it's a bit too far away, it's then been pitch corrected afterwards. And this is something that you can do. You can use auto-tune live and then work with that audio and pitch correct the auto-tune. We'll have a listen to the actual audio so that we can hear Dua Lipa's voice.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find.
Yes, I mean, you can clearly hear there that we are getting snapped. I think if you can hear A440 standard pitch equal temperament, you can hear when something is processing that sound. Oh, you hear the processing sound, but something is literally processing the sound into pitch. So this is why it's getting stuck directly over this line. And this was the section actually that really stuck out, or well, sticks out in the original audio as well. Especially after this dramatic slide down that we have, and then it getting to its finite point that it's been programmed to get to, and then it stops. So, and you can actually, when you look out for it, you can start to see this kind of thing. D sharp 4 spot on, C sharp 4 spot on. So yeah, there's calibration, definitely calibration going on there. And the reason that this is so interesting is because it's a mix. Elton John sang live. So when I say sang live, you heard his voice unedited when he sang at the Royal Albert Hall. And obviously that's just the way that he does it. That's the way that he's done it his whole career. So then the editing on Sir Elton's voice has happened after the event. But the editing on Dua Lipa's voice is happening in real time. So she's got something on her microphone that Elton John hasn't got on his microphone. Whether he knows that or not, I do not know. I don't know whether somebody might have said to him, oh, by the way, Elton, Dua is going to be going through auto-tune, but you're going to be singing live. I kind of feel like he might have said, what? Well, why does she get to use auto-tune and I don't? Or he might say, why does she use auto-tune? Does he even know that it's going on? And this is it. When we're talking about rabbit holes, I don't know. All that I saw Sir Elton John say in this particular, or before this particular performance, he said that, yeah, he loved Dua Lipa and she's unique and she's got a great voice and was obviously very complimentary, and that's why he agreed to do this. I would assume that he knows she's using auto-tune live. So, but this is the thing about this performance is all we need to do is just listen to this first section and everything becomes clear as to exactly what was going on. So we've now answered all of the questions that I've been asked about this particular performance. I know people are going to think, you know, at what point does this end? Using auto-tune, and if the auto-tune doesn't work enough, then pitch correcting the auto-tune is like, now we've gone to two different computers to make a sound. So we've created two new audio files from the original audio file that nobody ever gets to hear because it's happening in real time live. And that original vocal of Dua Lipa's, ceases to be as soon as it leaves her vocal cords. We never actually get to hear her vocal cords and what they actually produced pitch-wise. So yeah, there we go. But I do want to refer back to a video that I did on Dua Lipa when she was performing at Glastonbury. So this is a shorts video on YouTube, but I was also sent this as a reel on Instagram, and it's Dua Lipa performing live. And when I did that original Glastonbury analysis, of course, Dua Lipa fans started messaging me, and my videos are objective and I'm just pointing out what's going on, but obviously fans can get defensive about it, and they said that she does sing live and her vocal isn't on the backing track, and what you were hearing were the backing vocalists. And one person even accused me of doctoring the footage or the video to make the backing vocalists darker in the background so that you couldn't see them, to then fit my narrative of saying that it's Dua Lipa's voice on the backing track and trying to hide backing vocalists. As always with my videos, the links are in the description below, so you can see that it is the actual video I'm looking at. I don't edit them in any way. I do say that the only way of knowing and showing those kind of people is to run up to the artist and pull the microphone away from their mouth so that they can hear that the voice is still coming through the speakers, even though the singer doesn't have a microphone anymore. So into this video, Dua Lipa's performing live. I'm going to let it play through. So you can see now, when she was singing, she threw her arm down and the microphone has slid out of her hand and slid across the stage, and it's fallen down the gap down here. So now she kind of goes over to try and find it. So I think there we did have what I would consider backing vocals in there. Whether Dua Lipa's voice is actually in there, again, very difficult to say, but I'll let it play on. And now, this is Dua Lipa's voice. Unmistakably her voice, and fans will know that this is her voice now, coming out of the speakers. So, unfortunately, all she can do is dance along to her own voice and her own song, because once you have the lead vocal in there, that is the song. So whether you class it as a backing track or not, it's very difficult. So I'll let it play on. And then you can hear the backing vocals on the backing track. Those weren't the same backing vocals that we just heard. You can tell straight away in the mix that they're different. So somebody then runs on and hands over the microphone. And now we're kind of back into it. So when I say, what I say in the analysis videos, they are objective, and what I'm saying is actually happening, and that's just what it is. And this is the kind of thing that does help to prove what I'm saying for the people that don't really understand what I'm doing when I'm pointing out, pitch lines and all that kind of stuff. Maybe people with a music background or maybe music production know what I'm pointing out is factual and it is objective and it is what it is. But for those people and maybe fans that don't want to believe that there is a backing track with her vocal on it, this undoubtedly proves it, because she doesn't have a microphone and you can still hear her voice going on. So there you go. Now, whether that makes any difference to the people going to watch a show, that's subjective. People might not care that it's all on a backing track. They might not care that she's not singing in particular sections, or that, a lot of it is pre-recorded and all that kind of stuff. And I have seen comments actually on this shorts on YouTube of people saying, well, of course she doesn't sing live the whole time because she's performing for an hour and a half and there are a lot of dance routines and choreography and all that kind of stuff. And again, if you think that's up to you, whether you think that a singer can't sing if they dance a lot. But I've done another video showing that there are artists that perform for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and do a lot of choreography, and they don't have their voice on a backing track. They have trained, and this is the difference. It takes training. When I was pointing out about Pink, who does actual gymnastics while singing, she doesn't sing over her own voice on a backing track. And the same thing for Tina Turner back in the day, and she's probably the most famous example of someone who had dance routines all the time, high energy throughout her shows all the time for 2 hours plus. but she was physically in shape. She was so physically fit that she could do that. But again, it's all subjective. It's all up to you. You know, what you like, what you don't like. I know that there are some people that like to go along to a show for the spectacle and they like to watch the dancing and they don't really care that the person isn't singing. Or that the person's using auto-tune and all these different things. And then you've got other people who, when they go to watch, you know, a singer or a band, they want the band to be playing the instruments and they want the singer to be singing. But I don't know, I think it kind of falls into a different category when people are buying a ticket for a show to watch a performer, maybe not a singer. Maybe it would be classed more as watching a performer because, yeah, they're not necessarily producing what you're hearing. And you know, I've seen this referred to on different channels as maybe going to watch wrestling and then going to watch a boxing match. You know, one of them, you know, fans that watch boxing might not go to watch wrestling, but there are fans of both of those things. So, yeah, again, it's subjective as to what you compare it to or what you compare it with. But anyway, thank you guys for requesting the previous performance for me to take a look at and for sending me this particular performance as well. As always, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Keep those requests for future analysis videos coming in there as well. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!